Recording in progress.
అంతరాయ తిమిరోపశాంతయే శాంతపావనమచింత్య వైభవం తం నరం వపుషి కుంజరం ముఖే మన్మహే కిమపి తుందిలం మహః వసుదేవసుతం దేవం కంసచారమర్దనం దేవకీ పరమానందం కృష్ణో వందే జగద్గురుం శ్రీకృష్ణో వందే జగద్గురుం. Welcome to the most pious session to understand the soul, to understand oneself, to understand the truth. Suddenly we became friends of God. Suddenly we started understanding God, and slowly we become God. What does it mean? Hindu Dharma is the only Dharma where there is a possibility of you becoming God. What does it mean? Yes, it's true. Hindu Dharma only offers you to become a God. Because Hindu Dharma talks about every person, every soul is individually divine. Every person possesses the characteristics of a God. However, with our ignorance, tamas, rajas, we try to forget the good qualities and we try to express the evil qualities. Once you start losing the evil qualities, once you start understanding the sattvic nature of yourself, you start becoming God. Dig out the divinity within. This is the essence of 15th chapter. As everybody understand, Bhagavadgeetha is a wonderful essence of Upanishads. Upanishads are the essence of Hindu Dharma. I repeat, Upanishads are the essence of Hindu Dharma, and Bhagavad-Gita is essence of the Upanishads. God tried to provide us the nectar in a simplest possible form, that is Gita, connecting two dots. Yes, connecting dots means solve a problem. That's Gita. It solves all your problems. Because we fail to understand the problems, we fail to understand the issues, we get attracted to the materialistic world. Once we understand the materialistic world, it is impossible to understand the God. Slowly you have to get that detachment. Take out the divine qualities within and you will become God. Let me know any one religion that offers this solution. Hindu Dharma starts with you are a God. I don't think any other religion can talk about this. Every religion stops at Swarga or Naraka, the hell or heaven. But just Hindu Dharma talks about the moksha, the liberation. Liberation from all the births. Liberation from all the issues, all the problems. And you become Sat, Chit, Ananda Swarupa. Sat, the real truth. What is truth? Truth is something that never changes. Truth never changes. For example, Srinivas, he was a kid. Later he was a youngster. Now he is middle age to old age. So that means there is a change. So this body is not truth. That we have to understand. One day we have to leave this body, and there is some causal body. Please try to understand here carefully. There is something called causal body. Whatever you see is not the final. This is the gross body. This you have to leave here and go. Little you have something called the Sukshma Sharira, the subtle body. That subtle body is your mind. It works only when you are in sleep state. Of course, during normal state also it works, but it's predominantly works during your sleep time. But after you cross that particular phase, you will be in causal body. And that causal body is something when you don't understand the problems of your body, don't understand the problems of your world, nothing. You are in a deep state, deep sleep state, completely unconscious state. At that particular point of time, if somebody comes to you and, and offers some money, you will not be able to take it. And if somebody offers crores and crores of rupees, you will not be able to accept, because at that particular point of time, you are not this body. All these things are explained in 15th chapter. Bhagavad Gita offers three things: Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, and Jnana Yoga. Karma Yoga is for the duty minded people who do their duty and forget about the results. They do it because it is their duty. First six chapters talk about that. The next six chapters talk about your devotion, your attachment to the God. That gives you a lot of strength. Because whatever happens, happens for a reason. When you believe in God, this particular belief will take you to the next level, will take you to the liberation. Because you don't feel bad for anything. You say it is because of God. So that is in next six chapters. The last six chapters talk about the true wisdom. Why you are born. What are your characteristics? And what are you going to achieve? There are countless number of galaxies are there. Billions, not millions, billions of galaxies are there. We are in Milky Way galaxy. Countless number of suns are there. So we have to understand why we are here. What are we going to achieve? Are we just born to feel the sufferings? Once you understand this, you will understand the truth. In this particular process, while understanding who you are, the answer is you are God. Aham Brahmasmi, Tattvamasi, I am Atma Brahma, Prajnanam Brahma. The four main sources of Hindu Dharma. These four sentences offer the essence of Hindu Dharma. Please pay little extra attention here. Hindu Dharma tells you clearly that you are the representative of God and you are the God. But you have to achieve that phase. All the water is good, but you drink only refined water, cleaned water, RO water. Similarly, you have to clean yourself. Once that cleansing happens, you develop the divine qualities and you become God. But what happens is we continue to forget that we are part of God. Mamaivamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha manashashthan indriyani prakriti sthani karshati. God is saying, everybody is part of me. But once you take this form, this gross body form, You fail to understand that you are part of God. Because Prakriti Sthani Karshati. Karshati means Akarshana. It attracts towards the materialistic things. So you forget that you are representative of God. You are the Amsha of God. You are part of the God. That we fail to understand. Why we fail to understand? God tries to explain that in this 15th chapter. In 12th chapter, we understood that the devotion has multiple dimensions. You can be a devotee just by serving others. You can be a devotee just by doing pranayama. You can be a devotee just by doing yogasana. You can be a devotee just by serving a temple. You can be a devotee serving the society. You can have prayers, hymns, we have upasana. All these things will take you to the God. He offers multiple ways where you become a true devotee. So 12th chapter, you enter inside the temple, you enter the sanctum sanctorum of a temple, the Garbha Gruha of a temple. Once you enter inside God, you try to see the God. Slowly enter inside. Two more steps, two more steps, two more steps, two more steps. The last step where you align with God, you join with God. The perfect yoga happens. Jivatma and Paramatma, there is no difference. That chapter is 15th chapter. In 12th chapter, you enter inside the sanctum sanctorum, and in 15th chapter, you merge with God. You understand that there is no difference between you and God. Jiva becomes Deva. Nara becomes Narayana. Manava becomes Madhava. Purusha becomes Purushottama. This chapter's name is Purushottama Prapti Yoga. Purushottama Yoga. Okay, both are correct. What a wonderful essence. It offers you an opportunity to become God. It offers you a best possible way to get relief from this vicious cycle of births and deaths. That particular solution is there in this chapter. Here, God talks about a tree. Sorry. God talks about a tree. What is this tree? This tree is our materialistic world. This is upside down. Normally, you cannot see any upside down tree, right? Normally, we don't see that. Hindu Dharma, just one more important point here. Hindu Dharma always explains things by quoting the example of a tree. Here, it's just reverse. The tree is reversed. And this tree is not a normal tree. It's a banyan tree. It is huge banyan tree. The first sloka talks about a big tree where the roots are upwards and all the branches are downwards. It is impossible to see. And what happens is we are in these branches and leaves. We have sattva, guna, rajasu, tamas. These three characteristics will not allow you to see the root. See, once you are in the branches, it is extremely impossible for you to understand the root. You think these branches are only making you understand everything, but that is wrong. You have to understand the root. And we are inside. And of course, our rajas and tamas, they are nothing but pouring water so that the tree grows. There are more branches, and you will not be able to understand the truth at all. You don't even know that there is a start point and end point. Honestly, think once for a second. Just a second. What is the starting point? Every religion tries to offer a particular solution. This is starting point, that is starting point. But Hindu Dharma says that there is no starting point. God doesn't have a starting point or end point. And you are part of Him, H-I-M, Him, H capital. So it talks about the tree. This extended downwards completely. And of course, part of it is upwards also. And you will not be able to understand the truth because these branches are nourished with our three modes of materialistic world: sattvika guna, rajasa guna, tamasa guna. Adhaschordvam prakrutastasya shakha. So what happens is it doesn't allow you to understand the God. It never allows you to understand the God. You are here only. You are here only. And what happens? Because you continue to develop the attachment with the materialistic world, the more chances of you losing the connection with God. Adhaschordhvam prasutastasya shakha guna pravruddha vishaya pravala. Vishaya pravala. All the things that you see, that you smell, that you touch. So you get connected to these things only. Vishaya pravala. Because of these three characteristics, Sattvika Guna, Rajasa Guna, Tamasa Guna, you will be connected only to the world through your five senses. So it's almost impossible. Almost impossible. You cannot understand the root at all. Adhascha mulanyanusantatani karmanubandhini manushya loke. You will understand your fate. You will not be able to understand the fate. But you have to follow the fate. Because you are not trying to understand the root. You are not trying to understand the truth. Even people who claim to be devotees, what they do? They simply do bhajans. They simply go to the temples. They offer some 10 rupees to the God, $10 to the God. That's it. For them, that's the ultimate truth. But it is not the ultimate truth. You are in this vicious cycle of births and deaths, births and deaths. So God is offering you a solution. Because it's extremely difficult to come out of it. So he's saying asanga tatvena. So asanga. What is asanga? Develop the detachment. Develop the detachment. Nirmana moha jita sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivrutta kama dvandvair vimukta sukadukka sanyai. So God is asking you slowly to get detached with all this. Why we need to get to detachment? Because God is the only source. God is the only truth. So God is saying that this whole world is changing, including your body. Whatever changes is not truth. So in order to understand the truth, you have to cut the branches. With what? With the detachment. With the detachment is a weapon. Practice the detachment slowly. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to practice the detachment at the age of 25 years. No. During the first 25 years, try to learn dharma, how to lead life in a straightforward way from schools, colleges, parents, friends, and everybody. Once you understand this, the next 25 years are for you to enjoy the materialistic world. Ardha Kama. Enjoy the world, no issues. Purchase the cars, everything, buildings. But after a particular point of time, once you are settled with your responsibilities, then start Vanaprastha. What is Vanaprastha? Vanaprastha in olden days, kings used to go out of the world, materialistic world, and they used to enjoy. Because when they are in jungle, they try to connect with the Prakriti, and this Prakriti will take you to the God. Try to understand three layers, please. This is God. This is the Prakriti. And this is you. We got detached from God and we are here. And this Prakriti, which is characterized by Satvika, Rajasa, Tamasa, is not allowing you to understand the God. But once you start living with this, once you start understanding this, then you become Prakriti and you understand the God. And slowly you understand and become God. Now three fingers have become one finger. Earlier it's like this. So what do you do? In Hindu Dharma, they represent this with five fingers. Please try to understand it carefully. This is God. This is completely detached. This thumb finger is completely detached with these four fingers. This is the Jiva. This is you. You are attached to the Prakriti, which is characterized by three characters: Satvika, Rajasa, Tamasa. Satvika, Rajasa, Tamasa. And you are with that. And God is separate. So what you have to do is slowly move out of Prakriti and move towards God. Then it will be great. Whenever you want to express your happiness, you say this. Yes, this is the root of happiness. This is called Chin Mudra. When Jiva tries to understand God, he gets separated from the Prakriti. Satvika, Rajasa, Tamasa. Satvika, Rajasa, Tamasa. You get detached from that and you get attached to the God. This is what God wants you to understand. This is what we are supposed to achieve. A wonderful way, right? A wonderful way. And God is saying you have to completely get it detached from the illusions, the false prestige, which are the characteristics of the materialistic world. False associations. We continue to develop associations with wrong people. Once you have association with the wrong people, then you continue to develop wrong ideas. Sasangatve, nisangatvam, nisangatve, nirmohatvam, nirmohatve, nichalatatvam, nichalatatve, jivan mukti. Sasangatya, the good associations are most important. That's what is explained in the fifth verse. You have to get detached from the false prestige, from all unnecessary illusions, and of course, the false associations. Then only you will be able to understand the eternal truth. Then you have to get done with this materialistic lust. Then you will understand that there is a true happiness. The duality is to be ignored here. Once you understand that you are part of the Supreme Person, you will definitely reach the eternal kingdom. How beautifully explained it here. So basically, God is talking about I illuminate everybody. Why do you need to understand me? You are thinking this materialistic world is yours. But who created this materialistic world? Whatever you see are created by me. The sun, the moon, whatever you see, they are created by me. They are not illuminated. They are not illuminating me. I am illuminating them. So you understand that this materialistic world is not great. There is a greatest aspect of life that you are continuously ignoring because Mamevamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, my favorite verse, favorite shloka. All the living entities in this world are my fragmented parts. But unfortunately, they are struggling to understand me because they are completely attracted towards the materialistic world. And this materialistic world not only spoils you now, but it spoils you to the births later. Once you leave this body, what happens? The causal body that becomes a seed. That seed will enter the Vayu. That will enter the Megha, the clouds. Then the rain. Then the earth will give you the food because of rain. And this food is taken by father. From father, the energy flows into mother. Then you start developing the body. Once you start developing the body, you have now eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and the sparsh, the touch. Then you again are attracted towards the materialistic world. So, though you were a seed after this birth, but again you are taking another birth and again attracted toward the materialistic world, because materialistic world is very easy to understand. God you will not be able to see. You have to understand through multiple ways. Because he is not visible to you, you are being attracted to the materialistic world. So you have to open your third eye. You have to understand it through wisdom only. Foolish people will not be able to understand this. God is here clearly saying, the foolish people will not be able to understand me. Why you are taking the body, why you are leaving the body, why you are entering again a new body. Understand. But once you open your eyes, think properly, then they will be able to see everything. Slowly, all the barriers will be removed, all the shackles are removed. You will be able to understand God. So, you need to be practicing this. It is called abhyasa. Abhyasa means practice. Detachment is called vairagya. You have to practice the detachment, then the realization will automatically come. Because this whole world, this materialistic world is created by me. And you see sun who dissipates all the darkness of the whole world. He is coming from me. Don't think sun is great. I am greater than sun because I created the sun. Similarly, you think moon is good because it provides you vitamins and minerals. But that is again by me. So you are getting all the food from me. All the materialistic benefits from me. You eat the food. Then what will happen? Aham vaishvanaro bhutva praninan dehamashnitaha. So I am an enzyme inside your body. You take the food. What will happen to that food? It has to get digested. It has to get broken down by oxygen and the enzyme. That enzyme is me. All four types of food that you take, drink, and you paste it, grind it, lick it. All these four types of food is being digested by me. Aham vaishvanaro bhutva praninan dehamashnitaha pranapana pachamyannam chaturvidham. So he's saying, it is going to be digested by me. So I am an enzyme inside. Prana pana samayukta. What does it mean? Prana, the oxygen that you take. Apana, that you release from your body. And ensure that this is digested properly. So I am there in every aspect of your life. I am there every aspect of your life. I am that fire, that enzyme in your body. So you are getting all the benefits from the materialistic world, which are again part of me, the sun, the moon. Then you take the food. I am only going to digest that. I stay inside your body. Because there is no difference between you and me. Atma and Paramatma are same. Because I am seated in every heart of every people, every person. I am there. Matta smrutir jnanamapohanancha. Smrti, the memory. Jnanam, the wisdom, the knowledge. And you forget things. That is also because of me. So I am the only person who will be understood by reading Vedas. Vedas are the first scriptures of Hindu Dharma. But nobody had written them. That's why they are called Apaurishayas. Apaurishaya means nobody had written them. Since nobody had written them, people fail to understand the Vedas. But if you try to understand the Vedas, Vedas describe me. You will ultimately find me if you read Vedas. And I am the essence of Vedas. I am the writer of Vedas. I am the person who is going to be found from Vedas. See what ultimately he is trying to tell you. In this chapter, he is saying that everything is me, including you, that you fail to understand. Everything that you see is because of me. I am the Sutradhari. I am planning everything. And Prakriti, the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, Prakriti, the materialistic world, is again created me. It's the Patradhari that who took the role, key role. And you understand only there and you are staying there only. But I am trying to tell you today that the whole world is created by me. All the things that you see are by me. Whatever you eat, again it is going to be digested by me. I am there in your heart. I am there in your memory, brain. Everywhere I am there. I am the only person to be found in Vedas. Vedas are Vid. Vid means knowledge. Vid is the dhatu of Veda. Dhatu is the root, raw material. In Sanskrit, you have something called roots. So, Vid is Veda. Vidya, we also call Vidya, right? So, that is also from Vid only. So, he is trying to explain, try to understand. I am the God, you are the God. There are two kinds of people who are fallible and infallible. In this materialistic world, everything fails. Fallible. Kshara and Akshara. Kshara and Akshara. Try to understand three concepts that he is going to provide. Kshara means something fallible. That means like that continues to get diminished. For example, you have a mobile. It continues to diminish. That is called Kshara. And there is something called Akshara. Akshara means that never gets spoiled. You leave this body, you come back again. You see the Prakriti is there. So Prakriti is Akshara. There are actually two schools of thought. I am following one school of thought where they talk about your Jivatma is Kshara. Because you leave this body and this body is Kshara. Fallible. Then there is in the middle you have Prakriti. Even if you take another birth, that Prakriti will be there. That is Akshara. Because that is the essence of God. God asked Prakriti to act on his behalf. So what happens? Prakriti is playing the major role. So it becomes the Akshara. And I am the Purushottama. Kshara, Akshara. There are three layers. Try to understand. Kshara, Akshara, Purushottama. We all have bodies that are Kshara. And the Prakriti is Akshara. And the Supreme Lord is Purushottama. Different to this Kshara and Akshara. Because he created the Akshara, that is the Prakriti, and he created the bodies, this Kshara. So Kshara, Akshara, Purushottama. But you have the option of becoming Purushottama. For example, electricity. In your house, electricity is there. It's running fully, absolutely no breakdowns. Then what happens? Your mobile phone works, your laptop works, your TV works, and everything works. Once the electricity is taken out, all the devices will fail. So that electricity is the Paramatma. He is omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, ever pervading, all pervading. So you try to understand that God is everywhere and He is inside you. That you have to understand. Kshara, Akshara, Purushottama. Try to understand the concept of Purushottama. He only created the materialistic world and He only created the Jivatma. Once you understand that you are part of Him, it's very easy. Because once the truth is known, you will ignore the materialistic things. Once you ignore the materialistic things, slowly you become God. This is the only opportunity that we have in Hindu Dharma. God is transcendental. He is beyond all this. Fallible, unfallible, infallible, whatever. Everything. He is beyond all this. He is the greatest. He is celebrated here. He is celebrated there also in Vedas as a supreme person. So whoever understands the God, that's it. Without doubt, he is going to attain me. He is the knower of everything. Once you understand God, you will understand everything. Once you understand Him, you will fully engage with Him. All the activities. He is saying, O son of Bharata. What is Bharata? You have to shine. That is called Bharata. Shine and get detached with all these. So the most confidential, most important things are Vedic scriptures. And in Vedic scriptures, they talk about me. And whoever understands them, who will become? They will become wise. Once you become wise, you will become perfect. Once you become perfect, you will become a part of me. So in this way, the wonderful chapter of 15th talks about you get detached from the God unnecessarily. Welcome back, everyone. So, a wonderful chapter. I mean, this is the essence of Hindu Dharma. It's a wonderful chapter, and all the essence of Hindu Dharma is there in this chapter. Once again, I'll try to explain you. There is God, there is Prakriti, and here you are. There are three layers. You fail to understand the God because Prakriti is there. God is clearly saying, Mamaivamsho jivaloke jiva bhuta sanatana manashashtan indriyani prakriti-sthani karshati. Because of your five senses and the brain, you are being attracted towards the materialistic world and you will not be able to understand me at all. Because you are unable to understand me, you will not be able to appreciate me. You don't even know me because you will not be able to understand me with these five senses at all. Vedas talk about me as a supreme Lord. Vedas are the first sources of information in Hindu Dharma. There I am being explained as the supreme God. Then what else you want? Whatever happens in this world because of me, you think the materialistic world is great, but no. I have created the materialistic world. The sun is created by me. The moon is created by me. The whole world is created by me. The food is created by me. After you have the food, that is being digested by me. So everything is because of me. Once you understand this, you will become wise. Your third eye will be opened. You think this body is final. No. You will leave this body. You will become a seed. Then you enter the clouds. You become rain. You become food. You enter father's body. From father's body to the mother's body. Then you have another body. Then you are again getting attracted to the materialistic world. So in this vicious cycle, you fail to understand that there is something beyond all our beliefs. What a wonderful chapter. God is saying that every person is individually divine. The only thing is we don't know about it. We fail to understand it. So God is trying to explain, hey Arjuna, whatever you were told in 12th chapter, practice that. Practice the devotion. Practice the service. Devotion means not going to the temples and offering some money to God. Offer yourself to the world. Offer your services to the world. Serve the mankind. Understand that there is God in everybody's heart. That's what God said. Vedaischa sarvairahameva vedyo vedanta krudveda videvatani. He is being explained in the Vedas. He is also there in every person's heart. Matta smritir jnanam apohanancha. I am there in your heart. I am there in your brain. I am there in your memory. And I am also there in your memory loss. So, God is saying that I am everywhere. I am omnipresent, omnipotent. And when I am everywhere, I am in you also. When I am everywhere, I am in you also. So that is the essence of Hindu Dharma. Aham Brahmasmi. Tattvamasi. I am Atma Brahma. Prajnanam Brahma. These four major sentences, main sentences of Hindu Dharma are the major sources of information of Hindu Dharma. So this chapter talks about you entering inside the temple and directly going to the God, understanding that you are the God. You are merging with God. You understand that this body is kshara, fallible. You have to leave this. The Prakriti, partially infallible because it's part of God. But you have the chance of becoming Purushottama, the ultimate truth. That is being provided only in Hindu Dharma. That logic. Everybody can do it. Without any religion, everybody can become God. But unfortunately, other religions, this particular concept is not there. They end where the hell and heaven are there and you come back again, you continue to suffer. But Hindu Dharma talks about develop the detachment after a particular age, then practice it, then try to understand the world, try to understand from where you have come, because you are the only person who have the brain that can think logically, because all other lives, it's impossible. But as a human being, you will be able to do. You will be able to understand me. Understand me and become me. You be me. So from in 12th chapter, you enter the sanctum sanctorum of a temple. And in 15th chapter, you become God. The ultimate truth is being told here. With this, we end the 15th chapter. But try to understand one thing. Officially, 15th chapter ends Bhagavad-Gita. But then why we have 16th, 17th and 18th chapters? 16th chapter, 17th chapter, 18th chapter are appendix chapters. Reference material. What kind of reference material they provide? 16th chapter talks about Daiva Asura. What are the characteristics of a divine person and a demonic person? So it's a reference material. Whether I have divine characteristics or demonic characteristics, you can just verify. 17th and 18th chapter talks about the whole world. Everything is defined in Satvika, Rajasa, Tamasa. For example, food. Satvika food is nice food, milk, sugar, and something that offers protection to your body. Rajasa food, something that is very hot, and tamasa food, something that is stored in the fridge. So once you have food in fridge, then obviously your characteristics also will become tamas. Tamas means andhakara, darkness. So in this way God tries to explain everything in satvika, rajasa, tamasa terms, 17th and 18th chapters. So you will be able to understand whether I am a satvika person or rajasa person. You perform puja, you do puja because of yourself. You try to understand the God. It is satvika puja. But you want to show it off. It is rajasa puja. And you don't even do properly. That is called tamasa puja. Like this, God explains each and everything in 17th and 18th chapters. 16th chapters, divine qualities and the demonic qualities. So 16th chapter, 17th chapter, 18th chapter are reference material. Appendix chapters, Kalasha chapters. They are also called Kalasha chapters. But 15th chapter ends Gita. Because in 12th chapter you understood the God, you entered inside the sanctum sanctorum, and in 15th chapter you merged with God. You understood that there is no difference between you and God if you develop the divine qualities. With this, we close 15th chapter. I hope everybody understood the 15th chapter. And if we have any questions, we can take for 5-10 minutes. Atma sukhama vidini ఆట కొరకు పాత్ర పోషణ చేసితి సూత్రధారి విశ్రమించెదని పాదమాశ్రయించి పరమకరుణాంతరంగా శ్రీ పాండురంగ యోగేశం సచ్చిదానందం వాసుదేవం వ్రజప్రియం ధర్మ సంస్థాపకం వీరం కృష్ణో వందే జగద్గురుం. Jai Sri Krishna. Hope everybody understood the essence of 15th chapter. As I said, this is not only end of Bhagavadgeetha, but this is the end of the knowledge. Understanding the truth of Gita through 15th chapter. 12th chapter and 15th chapter happen to be the smallest chapters in Gita, but they offer the highest knowledge in Hindu Dharma. Jai Sri Krishna. If anybody has any questions, we'll take them. Hope everybody understood the essence. Just try to understand. Yeah.
Excellent. It was very nice. Well explained.
Thank you. And everybody understand one thing. God doesn't mean a vigraha. God doesn't mean just an idol. There are 5 forms of worships that we talked about earlier. God is worshipped in vigraha, the idol. Then he is also worshipped in chakra, geometrical representation of God. Sri Chakra, for example. Every God will have a chakra, a form, geometrical representation. Then third one is mantra. God is represented with sound. The fourth one is God is there in your body as Kundalini. You have some powerhouses in your body. They are called Kundalini. And then the final one is Nirakara. God doesn't have a form because God is there in you, God is there in me, God is there in laptop, God is there in mobile. Then if God is there in everything, then how do you differentiate? You say that God is in this form? No, God can be in any form. So God is Nirakara. So grow from the lowest level, that is Vigraha Radhana, idol worship, to the highest level Nirakara. That will come only through practice. Just going to the temple, worshipping for 5-10 minutes, offering some donation and asking God for multiple favors is not bhakti. It is not what Hindu Dharma wants you to achieve. Hindu Dharma wants you to understand that you have an opportunity to become God. Dig out the divinity within. Very easy, very easy. Adveshta sarva bhutana maitra karuneva cha nirmamo nirahankara samadukka sukakshami samashatrau cha mitre cha tatha manapamanayo Shitosna Sukha. I mean, God is always talking about the good qualities to be digged out from you. God gave you some qualities that we have to understand and we have to use them. The divinic qualities in you are to be used. Once you start using them, you understand the difference. You feel the bliss. You feel and you understand the greatness of God. Then you will have Sat, Chit, Anandam. Sat, the truth. Chit, the dynamic. Ananda, the happiness. You have happiness for a minute and we have sorrow for so many minutes. But you will come out of that particular cycle and you will have a continuous happiness when you become divine. So this is the only opportunity given in Hindu Dharma and every person is divine. So what a beautiful chapter. 20 slokas. 12th chapter also 20 slokas. 15th chapter also has 20 slokas. But understand the essence. This is the purpose of starting with 12th and 15th chapters only. Worldwide, this is the practice. In Bhagavadgeetha, most of the people don't start from first chapter. They take the 12th chapter first because that is where you become the real devotee. Devotee means not going to the temple, but offering service to the mankind is also devotion. Those kind of things God talks about. If you cannot do this, do this. If you cannot do this, do this. He offers multiple solutions there. So basically, we understand that there are multiple ways to reach God. As I said, first 6 chapters of Gita talks about the Karma Yoga for the duty-minded people. You do your duty, forget about the results. That's it. Very simple. Then the second 6 chapters talks about believe in God, leave everything to Him. How simple it is. And the last 6 chapters talk about think, think, think. Apart from...
Sir,
Sorry?
Komali want to ask some
Yeah.
question. She is that.
Sure. And in sixth chapter, besides all these three, we have the meditation path. It is called Raja Yoga. So 4 different ways to reach God. How lucky we are. Jai Sri Krishna. Komali, Mrs. Komali, please.
Srinivasji, namaste.
Namaste.
And I have a question.
Please.
Whenever you refer to a God, you say He. So, like, there are so many, like, human beings, like, he and she, and creatures and animals and everything.
Correct.
So, and we all come from the God.
Correct.
So, how come I should think that the God is He? And I don't know. Maybe you can give some enlightenment.
God doesn't have a gender. God means universal energy. God doesn't have a form. We use the form to understand the God easily. That's all. As I said, there are five ways you can worship God. One is the idol worship, where you have a form for God. Then you have the geometrical representation of a God. Then you have the sound representation of God. Then you have your body. Your body is temple. Deham Devalaya. Jiva Paramatma. So your body is temple and here God is there. For example, just understand one second. If God is not there in me, I will not be able to speak out. I will not be able to move my hands. I will not be able to smell anything. I will not be able to see anything. The only one energy that is there in me is allowing me to perceive everything from the world. So God is not a form. God is the universal energy. I gave one example also. In your house, there is an electricity that makes all the devices to work. Once the electricity is off, all the devices will go inactive. Similarly, God doesn't have a form. So we cannot call him he or she. Maybe I called he because it's easy. But God doesn't have a form. God is always Nirakara. The 5th form is called Nirakara. So akara to nirakara, you have to grow. The form to formless, the manifested to the unmanifested. How this whole world is created? God is formless initially. It is explained in Nasadiya Sukta of Rigveda. In Rigveda, we have something called Nasadiya Sukta. In that, they talk about what happened before this whole world is formed. There is only one universal power. That's it. But once God wants to manifest Himself, we have something called Purusha Sukta. Sahasra Shirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapat. Then God created this whole world and 14 total different galaxies, of which there are thousands and thousands of galaxies are there. So the whole infrastructure is created. Once the infrastructure is created, He created the Panchabhutas: earth, water, fire, Vayu, and of course the Akasha. From there, this body is developed. And the different combinations of these five created your mind, body, everything. So God doesn't have a form. So when you want to worship a God, using a form is okay. It's one way of worship. That's it. But you are also a God. So worshipping him or her doesn't matter because you are using it as a medium to reach God. Once you cross that phase, start using the chakra. Once you cross that stage, use mantra to invoke God. Then you understand that your body is temple. Clean the body, clean the mind, have a clean slate attitude. That is God. Then finally the Nirakara, the formless, the unmanifested truth. So God doesn't have a form. To simply put it, God doesn't have a form. You can use any form, any person also as a God, and you continue to do your practice. It is called sadhana. That practice makes you perfect. That practice will take you to the next level. Jai Sri Krishna.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there any word in Sanskrit to explain the Nirakara of Bhagwan? Like we due to the limitations of English, we call God. But if we want to, I heard that Sanskrit have a good
Correct.
explaining of ways.
Correct.
So is there a word
Parabrahma.
which explains?
They call Parabrahma Chaitanya. Chaitanya means the ever dynamic form. God is Chaitanya. He is ever dynamic. God doesn't have a name. Honestly, God doesn't have a name. You go to any of our Puranas. Okay, I'll try to briefly explain the evolution of Hindu Dharma. We have only Vedas, nothing else. Vedas have knowledge. Vedas are written in Sanskrit, not written, sorry. They are spoken in Sanskrit from Guru to Sishya, Sishya to Sishya. The knowledge is completely lost. So what Veda Vyasa he did was 5000 years back. He tried to get the essence from Vedas because in Vedas they don't talk about Vishnu, Rudrash, Brahma, Saraswati. All these gods are not there. So what Vedavyasa did was he tried to use the essence and put it in story forms. They are called Puranas. We have 18 Puranas and people wrote other Puranas also. Currently we have 180 Puranas. But 18 Puranas are called Mahapuranas. Then we have simplest ways to understand Hindu Dharma. They are called Ramayana, Mahabharata. So they are not stories, but there is an essence behind it. But we understand the stories, but we forget the essence. That essence is you become Daiva. That means you are part of this Chaitanya. You are part of this Parabrahma. Parabrahma is the first form. Parabrahma means that not four-headed Brahma. He is called Chaturmukha Brahma. So Parabrahma, the ever pervading, omnipresent energy. For example, you sleep. So this is like, active state, conscious state. After that, you are in dream state, subconscious state. Then you enter inside the deep sleep phase, that is called unconscious phase. In unconscious phase, you get energy from the universe. Every day you get energy from the universe because you are completely unconscious. You are not body, you are not mind. You are body and mind during the conscious state, but in dream state you are not body but you are just mind because it creates stories. But when you are unconscious, you are neither body nor mind. You take the universal energy into you. When morning we get up, we are very active, very dynamic. I had a nice sleep. What that nice sleep? The universal energy is flowing into you. God talks to each and every individual on a daily basis because we are part of Him. We are part of this universal energy. God doesn't have a form. He is Parabrahma. He is Chaitanya. That's why they call Nirakara Brahma. Nirakara Brahma is used in our Vedas. Jai Sri Krishna.
Thank you, Srinivas.
Thank you. It's a wonderful chapter, as I said. Once you understand that there is no difference between you and God, you practice to prove it right. Try to develop all the divine qualities. Obviously, we will become Him, Him or her, whatever. Again, no controversies. So God doesn't have a gender. God doesn't have a gender. Thank you once again. Really appreciate everybody's time and interest in this, and I hope everybody develops from here the knowledge, the wisdom that has to be continuously nurtured. Otherwise we will forget everything. So just remember that God is not just in idol, but you have to grow beyond that. Slowly you practice it. Slowly you practice the detachment. Slowly you practice to become God. Dig out the divinity within and understand the words Aham Brahmasmi. Brahma means the God. The word that I talked about, Parabrahma. Aham Brahma Asmi. I am the Lord. Tattvamasi. I am I am Him. I am Atma Brahma. This Atma is Brahma. Prajnanam Brahma. The best source of knowledge is Brahma. So once you understand the knowledge of your life, you will become Brahma. You don't need to look at the materialistic world. You have to look within, travel within, using multiple sources of information that is provided in Hindu Dharma. Then you will become God. Once again, I really appreciate all the people who are in the search of truth. Please continue to do that and practice it, and may God bless us all. Jai Sri Krishna.
Recording stopped.
Anything you have to tell about classes and Ragini garu?
Nothing to say, and I told them already in the last class.
Okay.
So, nothing.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Thanks everyone. Really appreciate everybody's time. And thanks Ashwati Garu, Ragini Garu. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much for taking your precious time and explaining everything very nicely. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Jai Sri Krishna.
Jai Sri Krishna.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.